Yo, the season's wrapping up and by now, we've seen it all. That means it's time for a rapid recap. In this video, we're reviewing every single card in the set, breaking them down as either meta, mid, or just a straight up miss. So whether you're a new trainer looking to catch up or a seasoned vet looking to sound off in the comments, this one's for you. Let's dive in. So Hoppip, I mean, you can't say that Hoppip is meta, but I do like that it's colorless, you know, so we will give it a mid. We'll give it a mid, that's fine. Skiploom, you know, again, can't really give this a meta, but really do dig this whole entire line. So, yeah, I'll give it a mid. I'll give it a mid. Jumpluff EX is difficult because nobody saw it coming, and one colorless energy, you can splash this into anything, but for right now, I kinda gotta say that it's mid. It's just, it doesn't, it hasn't really seen the meta play that much. It's a very fun card to run in like solos and events and stuff, but when it comes to like meta for like ranked and all that, it's not quite there. Sunkern, I kind of like that it's one colorless, and I gave that to the Hoppip, so I guess I'll have to give it mid. Sunflora though, I mean, I don't know, a coin flip to do a potential 80 for 2, and it's that's just a miss. Celebi is kind of on the verge between mid and meta. It hasn't seen the meta like that, so for right now, I'm giving it a mid. However, don't be surprised if we see this pop up as a counter in the future if there's like a new stage 1 or stage 2 that's like really popular in the meta. This will definitely be a counter, so I will kind of want to give it a meta, but for right now, it sits at mid. Durant is also interesting. I'm gonna give it a mid because 2 energy is a lot for only 40, but discarding the top card of your opponent's deck is very interesting, especially with now that we're starting to see like more control with like Morty. I know that's for Psychic and not Grass, but you know, we could start seeing more stuff like that. So it's in an interesting position. I'll give it a mid. Slugma kind of adds to the meta Macargo deck, so I'm giving this a meta because 80 HP, 2 for 40. You know, if you can't draw the Macargo, at least it's got some beefy HP for a basic and can deal some decent damage. So yeah, meta. This Macargo though, I gotta say, is definitely a miss because 3 energy for 90 when you have the opportunity to hit for 150 just spread across the board on the other Macargo. What are we doing at this one? You know, this makes no sense to run. Entei. If I had to give 1 miss, 1 mid, and 1 meta to each of the legendary beasts, this one's getting the miss because it just feels so backwards. You know, Legendary Pulse, you want out there as soon as possible to be drawing through your deck, but you need 4 energy to hit for only 120? Like, maybe if it upped it to like 150, then we could be talking. But it just, even 140, I don't know, just 120 seems a little short. And there's not that many fire cards. There's not much support for this, so he's just not as good. He's just not as good. Fletchender, I'll say this is mid. You know, this is good, and I like this line, but it's, I don't know, we haven't seen it yet, so let's say it's mid. Talonflame, 1 energy, 50 burn, so essentially 70 damage. Very nice. Giving it a mid though, because it's not in the meta, hasn't seen the meta. But this is pretty good. This is spicy. I like it. Maybe we'll see some cool fire stuff in the future, but for now this is mid. Poliwag, you know, it's so hard to call this meta, you know, but I will give it the mid. I like the call for family. We don't see that very often in this game, so it is pretty cool to see it on Poliwag, especially when they have an EX for it. The only one I can really think of is Beedrill. For Beedrill EX, like the Weedle. So yeah, Poliwhirl, you know, I love the colorless energy, so again, I'm gonna hit mid. I'm gonna give it mid. Arguably meta, but you know, you never really see the staged 1s in a stage 2 line, simply because, you know, you can just wear candy over them. It's rare to even have one, so yeah, it's gotta go mid. Tentacool, that's a miss. Why are we needing 2 energy to only hit for 20 into poison? I don't understand what's going on here. This is a bad card. Tentacruel is such a difficult one because for 3 energy, man, 3 only hits for 50, but they can be poisoned and paralyzed if you flip heads. So like obviously you want to run this with Will, but even then, I gotta give it a miss. I don't think this is worth running at all. I don't see a situation where this is really worth running. I mean, yeah, sure, Manta can like generate energy, but like, wouldn't you want to put that on something else instead? Slowpoke, this is, I can't say anything good or bad about it. It's your standard 60 HP with 1 energy, 20 damage attack type of Pokemon. It's very basic. So yeah, it gets a mid. Slowking, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a mid, just because it's only 1 energy. So like, you know, this could be paired with something pretty cool. You know, we just haven't seen it yet. But, you know, you're gonna run out of tool cards very quick unless you build an entire deck list around it, which I did at one point, but, and that's on this channel if you wanna go check that out. But, you know, Jinx, I mean, moving on. Suicune EX, easy meta, if not the most meta driving card in this entire pack, which is not that surprising considering that the majority of the time, you know, whatever the face of the pack is, this time being Suicune, typically is a very good card, if not a meta driving card. So we just had it all wrong. That's the only difference, is that we thought that Suicune wasn't going to be that great, you know, coming off of Umbreon EX, because it had to be in the active, was just something that was a little tricky. So with this having to be in the active, it just kind of felt like, oh, is it going to be that good? But getting this online as early as turn 3, being able to swing with Crystal Waltz is pretty crazy. You'd be surprised as to how many cards you can get in your hand being able to draw at the end of it, or just doubling the draw power essentially. Crystal Waltz is a little inconsistent because, you know, there's some decks that won't place and, you know, blah, 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 but definitely does enough damage to, you know, keep the pressure on while you're building something else up in the back. So yeah, this is an absolutely meta game changing card, absolutely meta, arguably the best card in this set. I'm gonna give it mid because of its next card. Leap Out's just a good, you know, especially for a card like this, it's great to see Leap Out. It really is. Melodic, I'm giving it a mid. I think a lot of people freaked out about this a little too early. It's a fan favorite Pokemon for sure, so people are just excited to use their favorite Pokemon, but like, I don't know, it's just an extra Lily in the deck, which is kind of cool, you know? I think it pairs really well with Primarina, and no one's really using that, so it's interesting. Maybe it'll get more use in the future, but you know, it's mid. I mean, is it going to be super meta? No, not really. I mean, look at it. You know, I think its ceiling is mid, right? So let's just move on. Mantike, meta. All the babies pretty much are great. There's only a couple like not so good ones. This kind of fixes water. I mean, there's a reason that it's got the crown rare, or that it is the crown rare in this pack. It just kind of fixes water, really. I know Misty's kind of a thing, but like they could just ban that one card, you know, but Mantike is fixing a whole type of problem, you know, like he is being splashed in almost every single deck. Get it, Splashy Toss? He's okay, whatever. Yeah, but no, meta, absolutely, for sure. Cryogonal, you know, honestly, I'm gonna give this mid because I think about Glaceon or Lumineon, you know, those cards that were able to snipe, and this doesn't need an evolution for it. And 40 damage is a significant amount of damage done to the bench. So I don't know what you would actually run this in, but you know, on paper, this is actually a pretty decent card. So I'll give it mid. Raikou EX. Well, if Entei got the miss and Suicune got the meta, this is gonna get the mid. I believe in it. I know it has 10 less HP and it doesn't have, and its damage doesn't do enough, but like, I don't know, Lightning's just been in a really good spot. So it just kind of fits in with a lot of stuff. You can just run one of it. Like, it just kind of, you can just, I don't know, it's good. Legendary Pulse is still good. You damage the bench, you can have some control. It's just not as good as Suicune because of just like what else is built around it, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is what it is. Dynamo, I mean, miss. 40 HP is really bad, man. 40 HP is really bad. Electric, I'm also gonna say miss. I'd rather run the old line, I think from the Genetic Apex days. This just isn't making sense to me. Electros, I'm also gonna say miss. Why are we putting 3 energy on this to hit for 120 and then damage ourselves? I don't understand. Unless something else comes out in the future, I don't understand why we're doing this. Stun Fisk. Why? Yamper. It's mid. You know, it's your 60 HP, 1 energy, 20 attack, 1 retreat, standard card, rinse and repeat, you know. Now, Boltund is mid. I think they probably thought that this was going to be a better card than it was. It just didn't become that, you know? So it is what it is. Mischievous, dude, you know, I kind of want to say meta. I know it's only 50 HP, but the ability is kind of crazy. The ability is kind of crazy. Like, if you're already going to run Mischievous or Mismagius, because now we got an EX and a regular version, I mean, you know, that's being able to see your opponent's hand for free like that. Like, they just slapped that onto this card. Like, that's pretty cool. So I'm giving it meta. Mismagius, I'm also going to say meta because, I mean, dude, 1 energy to deal 90 damage after getting that effect of seeing their hand and stuff, so you know if you're gonna be able to pull this off or not unless they top deck something, is just a really cool combo, and I really like it. Galarian Corsola, I mean, mid, 60 HP, 1 energy, 20 damage, 1 retreat cost. Say it with me now. But Galarian Corsola, I want to give it meta really bad, but it's just the fact that you have to flip the coin to see if you actually damage it or not. It's fun, but it's not consistent enough to be meta. You know what I mean? Latias, I mean, that's a miss, right? Like this, both of these just aren't that great, right? Like Latios, I mean, sure, it has no retreat cost, which is cool because you lose all your energy, but like 3 for 120 just doesn't seem worth it. Frillish is okay. You know, say it with me, 60 HP, 1 retreat, 1 energy. Instead of 20 damage, you just heal 10, so like you kind of sustain a little longer. So that's kind of cool, but still feels like a mid card, you know. Jellicent is a miss. Like, what are you holding out? Like, what was the point of Frillish to like hang in there? To draw the Jellicent to do 80 damage? Like what? I don't get it. Diglett is okay. You know, again, say it with me, 60 HP, 1 retreat, 1 colorless energy for 10. So like we're kind of getting that little trade-off for the colorless. Okay. Dugtrio is so interesting. I gotta put it mid because it's just a completely different type of deck. I don't know if you would run this over the other Dugtrio, but like it's so interesting. It's so interesting. On paper, he's really good, right? I think if we can just get some kind of dual energy support card, this would absolutely be meta. And in fact, I'm still gonna put it in the meta because 140 is pretty strong. 140 is pretty strong. And it's not hard to get different energy on him or to run a deck that's fighting water. I just, you know, because you can pair this with like Lucario or Politoed, like there's combinations with this one, but if we can get any kind of dual energy support, like we're really gonna see this guy make a comeback, absolutely. Vampy, I'm gonna say meta, because he kind of brought Donphan EX back into the picture, because Flail is this crazy last second, you know, last turn type of play, because you have so much more HP on Donphan with Memory Light. So yeah, I'm putting it meta. Donphan, I mean, dude, this is a miss. What are we doing? Why would you ever run this over, I think, either of the other Donphans? This is the worst Donphan. Relicanth, miss. Granted, oh, he's too colorless, so you can do, but like, what am I doing with this? You know? Yes, it's a basic with 90 HP, but like, what am I doing with this? Dweeble, I mean, miss. Doesn't seem right. The 2 energy for I don't know. Crystal, miss. 4 energy, dude. Survivor might be the biggest miss in the whole game. Like, this feels like Looker type territory. Actually, Looker might be a better card than this. Actually, this might be the newest worst card in the game. Zorua, say it with me now. You know, 60 HP, 1 energy, 20 damage, 1 retreat. Zoroark, I'm putting mid because we didn't really find, like, this had a lot of hype. It is the promo card, and typically promo cards aren't that great. This on paper seemed to be really good, but we just haven't really seen this in the meta or in any action right now. It's a very cool card, but it's not meta. It's just not. Inkay, say it with me. Malamar is really cool. It's not meta, but it's cool. Skrelp feels like a miss just because it's missing 10 HP from the other mid cards that you say with me. And this is also a miss. Like, what? Oh, Altaria, dude. I want to say meta. It didn't enter the meta, but it could because, like, I don't know. Like, Silvally was a stage 1 that only had 110 HP. 2 colorless energy to swing under a certain condition for 100. But this one has 10 extra HP and has no weakness. It just feels like an upgraded Silvally. You just have to run dual energy, so I understand why that's kind of an issue. I hate to give it mid. It should be meta. Again, if we can get any kind of dual energy support in this game, this, I'm sure, will enter the meta, or I'm coming into the meta with it. Farfetch'd is mid. I mean, you get the extra 10 HP from the last one, an extra 20 damage for another energy. So, like, he's interesting. He's interesting. Lickitung, I'm gonna say mid. You know, even if you don't want to evolve into it, just having a colorless option to snipe is pretty cool, and it's damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's not on the bench specifically, so that's also pretty cool. Licky, I'm also gonna put in mid. I mean, 60 damage is a significant amount of damage to the bench. You know, again, it's 3 colorless, but it is at least colorless, so Igglybuff is mid. I love that it's a troll. I love the art. But, like, yeah, man, it's kind of just a troll stall. It's not really that good. I think you'd run other babies over it, but, like, I respect it, you know? Teddy Ursa Ursaring is just a total miss. What are we doing? I mean, we better have, like, an Ursaring EX or something really dope coming, because he's such a cool Pokemon and he just got so disrespected here. Miltank, I have to give it meta. It did enter the meta there for a little bit, and it has the support with Whitney. They really wanted you to use this card. We get the promo with it. Yeah, I gotta put this in meta. It's fun. It's a fun deck. Azurill, man, no one's using this, but I think it's better than Igglybuff. I'm gonna put it meta. I don't think it's entered the meta just yet, but, like, again, it's very similar to Melodic, but I would rather run this than Melodic, right? I mean, you're only missing 10 HP, and yeah, you probably are getting knocked out, but I don't know. They just seem very similar, but what else are you gonna use with Melodic? Like, what else are you using that with, you know? So, like, Azurill just feels more intentional to me, and that's why he's meta. Swablu, we're gonna put mid. I know it's just leading into one of the greatest dragon types, one of the best partner dragon types. That's the other thing about Altaria, man, is you can partner that with almost any other dragon because they all run dual energy. I want to put it meta, and obviously it's not entered the meta, but I really like the fact that we have a colorless counterattack Pokemon. And then 2 energy for 50 is not bad, you know. I feel, you know, that's a well balanced card. Gotta respect it. Fletchling, I'll put mid. You know, you can't put any of these meta, but I like that you flip a coin. At least he does some damage, and he could do 40. Like, that's kind of crazy. Inflatable boat. just because it helps. Like, we got so much water support, you know, and just being able to splash that in there and it stays on them. That's the thing. It's not just a one-time use like an X speed or a leaf or something. I like this. Memory Light, I'm also gonna say meta. This is one of those cards that was so interesting. And just struck everybody, made us look through and dig through our whole library of cards again. And I think there's gonna be things in the future that really make this card really, really good and makes certain evolution types very relevant, or that much more powerful. Whitney, just because I put Miltank in meta, so I gotta put Whitney in meta, right? Traveling Merchant is mid. I almost want to say it's a miss. Like, this is really only gonna go good in like very specific decks, like the Slow King or like Skarmory or like Pachirisu, but even that, you just Pachirisu EX, that is, and even then you just stack it with tools. It's like you're not gonna not have the tool ready, you know. So like, I don't know. You know what? I'm giving it a miss. I talked myself into it. Morty. I mean, yeah, if I put Whitney in meta, I gotta put Morty in meta. This is the first kind of like control that we're seeing with Psychic, and it's not like Psychic needed any more support. Psychic's been in a good position, and now we're just getting some kind of control with it, and I really dig it. I like Morty a lot. So those are my thoughts on every single card in Secluded Springs. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Go ahead and like the video since you did so. Leave a card you thought that I got wrong. What entered the meta since this video has come out, or what's, you know, completely fallen off since this video has come out. Let me know in the comments. Hey, may your packs continue to shine, your battles be won, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.